Radio paves the way. Many of the developments needed for television began with radio. These included 1. The first comprehensive radio theory in 1865, 2. The theory's first proof in 1886. Radio waves were transmitted across a room, and these waves could carry information. Hence, they were called carrier waves. 3. Improved detectors. They separate the information from the carrier wave. Crystals were key to such early devices. 4. The vacuum tube, invented by Dr. Lee DeForest. 5. Amplitude modulation, or AM. The information of a radio program increases and decreases a carrier wave's height. Morse code was broadcast using AM, though speech and music eventually followed. Early television used AM for transmitting video. 6. The regenerative circuit to increase amplification. 7. The superheterodyne circuit to improve selectivity, the ability to pick stations out of noise, and the clutter of other broadcast signals. Eventually, on November 20, 1920, KDKA Pittsburgh made the first U.S. commercial radio broadcast. By 1925, radio was available throughout much of the United States. However, the rise of television needed just a few more steps. 1. FM, for frequency modulation, allowed low noise reception and improved fidelity. The sound of analog television used FM. The sound from modern television is digitally encoded. 2. First electronic television system by Philo T. Farnsworth. This was conceived in 1921 and first demonstrated on September 7 of 1927. 3. Television promotion by David Sarnoff and the inventions of his employee, Vladimir K. Zworykin, whose best creation was the Ocanscope tube. 4. The start of U.S. commercial television broadcasting. First, the W3XK, created by Charles Francis Jenkins. This was a mechanical system and used a spinning disc on the camera and one of the receiver. W3XK began broadcasting on July 2, 1928. However, the first commercial all-electronic television did not occur until July 1, 1941. Yet, it was necessary that radio be developed first, and some of the early stations could be received in North Florida if you had enough money and were willing to set up an antenna. WDAE Tampa commenced operations May 15, 1922, and this was Florida's first commercial radio station. WSB Atlanta, Georgia was the first in that state, and began broadcasting on the same date as WDAE Tampa. People in North Florida listened to both these stations. It is hard to tell the first radio station actually located in North Florida, but certainly WTAL Tallahassee was one of them. They apparently began broadcasting on March 29, 1941 at 1310 kilohertz. This quickly changed to 1340 kilohertz. Yet a Tallahassee timeline indicates WTAL began in 1935. WTAL, still broadcasting today at 1450 kilohertz, is the station where Bill Ragsdale, my dad, later known as Willie the Weatherman, worked in the early 1950s, and it seems to be a nexus for the development of television in North Florida. This was because it brought together some important people needed to create North Florida's first television station.